down at Brian's bookstore, where every day at 3:30 we got some good old Connersville citizens come down to have their 3:30 coffee, play a little music, and sing a little. On this end, we've got Dick Gutman, former teacher of Connersville, and we've got Stan Howard right next door, and our own Howard Manifold in the back, and Brian from Brian's bookstore. Henry Orshell is in the foreground, and we've got our famous character that writes for the Connersville newspaper, Mr. Dick Constanzer, down here on the end. We're all excited about Thursday. This is a child of Howard and Dick. They're our chairman, and they're putting this thing together. So, Dick, I'm going to ask you first. Talk about this rally and what you think about it.
Well,
into the camera.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be great to be. I think Leonard's the one that really organizes, and he said that Howard and me would be co-chairman. I guess because we're the oldest and meanest, and so we're trying to raise money to send Linda and Stan, and I don't know who else in the family. Hopefully, the whole family goes to Houston to see Matt and Butler win the national championship. And we just made this, well, we didn't make it, but somebody cleaned it up to have a really nice looking box there. And the contributions have been coming in fast and furious. And I think it's going to be amazing the amount of money we make, but if anybody deserves it, it's the Howards, because they raised Matt to be, humble. And I don't know if they taught him how to play basketball, but he learned something. So it's going to be exciting.
Okay, Dick, we appreciate your comments. Stan, I know you're like your son, Matt. You don't like much glory. But would you say a few words about your friends here and how you enjoy the afternoon?
Well, it's always good to, when I get off work, to come down here and kind of relax and unwind here at Brian's and have a cup of Brian's coffee. Maybe if I feel rich, I'll have one of his desserts. And it's always a good time, and we share just with one another, and it's part of my day, has been for 12 years now, so I can't imagine not doing it. So that's where I'm at every day at 3:30.
I want to be a little personal. If you had one word to say about Matt, I know we all just love him to death because of his character, his integrity, the way he sets an example for everybody. But if you had one word to say about your son, just give us the word that you'd use.
One? That's tough. One word. One word, and that's all I get, huh?
Oh, you can elaborate.
I can elaborate a little.
How about appetite?
He's got one, yeah, and he is humble, and he is very much has the heart of a servant. I know that's a lot of words, but it really says what the kind of person that he is, and he really doesn't care about glory. He really doesn't care about putting his name in the headlines and in the headlights, and to be up in the front and to be seen. But he just loves to play basketball, and he loves to help other people, and that's just who he is. And he also is a very Connersville is a very big part of his life as he grew up here, and he appreciates the upbringing that he got, and a lot of people in this room are a part of that, and he appreciates every one of them, and so do we as a family.
That is Stan Howard, the father of Matt Howard, and they did such a good job. I've said to Stan several times, teach me how to raise kids. I still have some in school. They are a wonderful family, and they've just done such a great job. They do deserve an honor. Now we have our own famous Howard Manifold, and we got to be careful because Howard tells it just like it is. Howard?
Well, as I told him the other day, the difference between famous and infamous is only 2 letters. So I don't know whether I'm famous or infamous, but I'd like to call your attention to the Houston Fund box for the Howard family. And we want you to come in to Brian's. We want you to contribute. It's for a very, very worthy cause, and this family deserves it. They're wonderful people. He's a wonderful young man, and let's everybody in Connersville get behind this and make it a success. And we're looking forward to seeing you down here on Thursday afternoon at about 4:30, right across from Brian's, and visit the Big Four, Final Four thing in the street and the blue line down the middle of the street. And we're looking forward to seeing you. And thank you so much.
When we first came up with this, I asked Howard to go see Mr. Howard. We got Howard Manifold going to see Mr. Howard, Stan, Matt's dad, and I said, I know that he won't want us to do this, but this is an opportunity for the people of Connersville to participate and to feel that they're a part of this. That's what's important. We want Howard and Linda to, Stan and Linda to enjoy the trip, and we don't want them to worry about the finances because it's very expensive to do these things. But more than that, it's the city and the people of Connersville and Fayette County having the opportunity to participate in this thing that we feel so great about our native son. Brian, we thank you for allowing us to come in here and just use your place. Mr. Constanzer, you write in the paper every week. Do you ever speak on TV?
Well, once in a while. I did at noon today.
Well, do it again.
Channel 13 was in here, and I could add one thing to what we've already heard. If you're old enough to remember the first state championship of Connersville had in 1972, there was a very bitter battle in the early 1970s over school consolidation. And the rural people were pitted against the city people. And this is going on all over the state. And the rural people lost. And we lost all of our rural high schools who were forced to come into Connersville against their will in many cases. The first year that those athletes from those schools began to filter into the athletic system at Connersville High School was 1971-72. And it just so happened that year that we had a player called Phil Cox, and we had a number of other players. We went down to Bloomington to IU's Assembly Hall, the first finals ever played there, and we won. We won the state championship, and that state championship brought the town and the county together. And after that, the rural people knew that their athletes would get a fair shot at making the teams in Connersville, and the Connersville people knew that they would be major contributors to our success. Now, we have this same situation involving basketball again. And because of what Matt Howard and the Butler team has done, when we needed a lift in Connersville, they have provided it. And so I think it's ironic that in both instances, when Connersville really needed to get together, it was basketball that did it. That's all I have to say.
I think that was very well said.
Amen.
Our rally will begin at 4:30 up at the north side of the Methodist Church, south side of the post office, and we will line up. We've got the high school band, we've got a fire truck, and we're going to put all the Howards we can find on top of the fire truck. I'd like for all the people that are able to walk to get up there on the street and follow the whole brigade down. The Boy Scouts are going to lead us, and we got several people that Matt has touched their life and they have touched Matt's life that are going to speak. And we're really excited about Thursday afternoon. We've checked the weather. It's going to be about 50.
It's going to be in the 50s.
Good. We want that. We invite all the Connersville people, Richmond people, and everybody else. Come on down and be with us. And thank you so much.